Oh, I will. I'll announce it.
All right, the intros are running right now. Kevin, are the levels okay? Is it loud? And welcome, football fans, to Week 8 of Henley Hornets football. We're coming to you live from Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School on a potentially rainy Thursday night. The weather might continue throughout the evening, but it's dry right now. That doesn't change the fact that we have two teams ready to do battle as the Henley Hornets face the Klamath Union Pelicans. Good evening. My name's Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick, Nick Bradford running the live stream tonight. And Kevin, I'll ask you, it's not raining right now. The rain might come in a little bit later. You think these kids had to prepare a little bit differently, knowing that there might be some weather tonight?
Well, given the fact that both schools reside here in Klamath, I think the kids know exactly what late October means as far as football goes. So I think they'll both be prepared. If it gets wet, I think that would affect Henley's passing game a little bit. And we have a pretty brisk wind as well, so that could also play into the special teams and other portions of the game. So I think for the most part, the teams will be ready.
All right, and it's a kind of a short week for these two teams as well because, we're here on a Thursday night. You think the focus might be to shrink the playbook a little bit and just kind of run what you're comfortable with, or you think, you still get that full week of scouting in for both these teams? Obviously, they're familiar with each other, but maybe a shrunken playbook kind of night for both of these squads.
Yeah, we'll see. We're far enough in the season now. We've got 7 games under our belt here, so I think most of the playbook will be there. Hopefully, if the teams are able, they'll throw a couple of wrinkles in. And we might even see some new things tonight.
Right, and of course, crosstown rival matchup. Said both these teams obviously here in town, but more than that, head coach Alex Stork, Klamath Union alumni. I'm sure that there's a little bit extra for not only him, but, kids on both sides tonight. Crosstown rivalry, always a fun evening.
Absolutely. Plus, we're playing another meeting game tonight. We have playoff implications. KU had an unfortunate forfeit earlier in the season. Their road to the playoffs is a little bit more difficult than Henley's. Henley just needs to win one of the next 2, and they're in.
All right. That means we're almost ready for football tonight from Henley High School. Might be a rainy Thursday night right now. We are dry, but that won't stop us. Starting lineups and kickoff are next on 104.3 and 960 Sports with live free video on mybasin.com. Keep it here.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. TCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quatrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
The Star Spangled Banner performed tonight by the Henley Choir, led by the choir teacher and Henley football coach Christopher Benjamin. It means we're getting close to football tonight. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick. Kevin, you mentioned it, that this game does still have playoff implications for a team like Klamath Union. We'll take a brief look now at the Skyline Conference standings as they are this evening. Mazama at the top of the conference with a 3-0 league record. They are 5-2 overall this season. Henley and Hidden Valley tied in conference play. Both teams 2-1, although Henley 6-1 overall. They find themselves ahead of the Mustangs in the standings. Hidden Valley is 4-2 and in third place in the conference. North Valley and Klamath Union are opponents tonight, both 1-2. The Pelicans are 1-5 on the season overall. North Valley, the Knights, 5-3, so they find themselves with the tiebreaker for fourth place in the Skyline Conference. And then rounding out the list, of course, Phoenix 0-3, 0-6 overall on the season. Only show in town tonight, but tomorrow the Mazama Vikings are hosting the Phoenix Pirates. Meantime, other Skyline Conference game, Hidden Valley taking on North Valley in Merlin, and that will be the Civil War, always a great rivalry between the Knights and the Mustangs. Some other Klamath Basin teams playing tomorrow as well as Chiloquin visits Bonanza. Glendale will come over here and play Lost River. Take a brief look at the college scoreboard. Oregon State playing Utah on Saturday at 4:30. You can listen to that game on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Elsewhere, number 10 Oregon taking on UCLA at 12:30. ESPN Game Day is going to be out there. Should be a real fun game for the Oregon Ducks taking on Chip Kelly and UCLA. Should be a fun game there. And, of course, over the hill, Southern Oregon University. They are at home against the College of Idaho on Saturday. That game at 1 o'clock, just to keep you in the loop there as we take a look now at the captain's meeting out of midfield. Some of the captains out there, Garrett Northcutt, Colby Scholes, also Tolson Higgins, and Colton Smith, the captains for the Henley Hornets. They are meeting down at midfield right now, which means we are almost ready for football this evening. We'll take one more break, and when we come back, it's time for starting lineups and kick on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle...
Get ready for some football.
All right, we welcome you back to Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School, getting ready for the Hornets taking on the Pelicans. My name is Josh Eldridge, joined by Kevin Petrick. Nick Bradford running the live stream tonight. As the Pelicans won the coin toss, they deferred. Henley chose to receive, and we are ready for kickoff. It's up. More of a ground ball rolls out to the 30-yard line, fielded at the 29, and that is where the Hornets will take possession to start the evening.
Kind of a squib kick, as they used to call it in the old days. Rolled down near the 30-yard line. And that's where Tolson Higgins fell on the football, and Henley will start their first possession.
Hornets tonight in their varsity black uniforms with the dark helmet and the black jersey, yellow numbering and trim across the front and back with dark pants and a yellow stripe down the side. Klamath Union this evening, red helmets, white jerseys with black numbering and lettering, red trim, and red pants. As it's 1st and 10 for the Hornets from their own 29-yard line. Stork sends a man in motion, and it's a sweep coming to the near side, and cutting upfield, gets to the 30, now past the 35, gets to the 40 before being brought down at the 45-yard line. On the carry was Austin Fitz, and a first down for the Hornets.
I was curious to see how Henley would come out. We've seen games this year where they come out with kind of a routine and a standard mode of operation, and then they come out with something different, and that was a different play. Haven't seen that all year. Big gainer.
Henley Hornets team, of course, led by Shaw Stork this season. For Stork, he's already got 11 passing touchdowns. 1st and 10 from the 46. This one a handoff to Higgins. He tries to find himself a hole on the far side, plunges forward. He's tough to bring down, a gain of 6 on the play.
Good line surge by the Hornets right there. Tolson with a nice gain. And Henley using that familiar pace that we see. They're on the ball already.
Tolson Higgins, after that run, 707 rushing yards on the season. He's having himself quite the year. It's going to be 2nd and about 5 for the Hornets on the other side of midfield at the Pelican 49. Taking the handoff was Tolson again. Tries to fight back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe loses 1 on the play. That brings up 3rd for the Hornets.
Nice tackle by Lincoln Peterson for the Pelicans. He got behind the line of scrimmage and made a quick stop on Tolson, bringing up a 3rd down.
10.5 remaining in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game. Just getting started on a chilly night from Henley High School. It's 3rd and about 6 to go right from midfield. The Hornets driving from right to left. Stork takes a snap, is rolling out to his right side. He's being chased, unfurls one downfield, and just overthrows his receiver. Incomplete, and that brings up 4th down for the Hornets.
Silas Dutra got in the backfield for KU and forced Shaw to hurry a little bit, and the ball falls incomplete, 4th down.
4th down for the Hornets, and back to receive for Klamath Union. Can't quite see who that is. Owen Sheen with the punt, though. Kicks it from the 40, and that's a boom of a punt. Fielded at the 8. Has a little bit of trouble taking it. Gets it up to the 10 and brought down right as he picks up the football. And that is where the Pelicans will take over on their first drive at their own 10-yard line.
That was Tony Ortiz with the catch there for KU trying to field that punt. And he dropped the ball, was able to pick it up quickly, and then Connor Sieben was right there. He's made some nice special plays on special teams all this year.
Always nice to have a guy who can produce on special teams, sort of a special team specialist, one might say.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the Pelican 10-yard line with 9:50 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Silas Dutra, the quarterback for the Pelicans, takes the snap and keeps it on the option. Falls forward for maybe a gain of 1 yard on the play, brings up 2nd down for the Pels.
Henley not fooled on that one. Owen Northcutt at the bottom of the pile with the stop.
This Henley defense all season long has done a fantastic job of stuffing the run up the middle. So Klamath Union have to find another way to get things done. We'll see what they pull out. Their offensive line, always a strong point of their team, coached by Coach Tom Smith. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Pelicans. One wide receiver set to the near side as Dutra takes it himself on the keeper, tries to find room along the outside, but is stuffed in the backfield. A loss of 1 on the play, 3rd and 10 coming up.
That was Tolson Higgins with a nice tackle. And so far the Hornets have done a good job penetrating the line of scrimmage, getting on the other side of the ball and making the tackle. 3rd and long.
3rd and 10 for the Pelicans from their own 10-yard line, deep in their own territory, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. 2 wide receivers to the near side for Dutra. He's also got one back to his left. Dutra passes to the near side. It is complete. Dropped it as he goes out of bounds. The intended receiver for the Pelicans, Lincoln Peterson. That'll bring up 4th down.
Perfect coverage out there by Tyler Harper. He knew the down and the distance. And even if he had made the catch, it wouldn't have been enough for a 1st down.
So that'll be a 3 and out for the Pelicans on their first drive. And Jameis Dutra to punt for the Pels. As he catches it about 5 yards deep in his own end zone, kicks it out to the 50. That's a nice punt from the Pels. It's fielded at the 50, brought back up the 40. Now trying to cut up the far sideline before finally being thrown out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Hornets going to have great starting field position their 2nd drive of the game.
Very nice field position. Good run back by Luke Bennett there. Tackle for the Pelicans. Braden Dawson in on the stop.
So the Hornets will take over 1st and 10 from the Klamath Union 35. Looks like there might be a flag out there on the other side of the field by the 30.
He's calling them right now. That's what that means. Something against KU.
And that'll be against KU. Is that?
It's like some sort of illegal contact.
Right.
Going out to about the 18th of the 17th.
Maybe a hit to the helmet, and that's really going to help Henley as far as field position.
So instead of it being the 35-yard line, that'll be a 15, 20-yard penalty. So it'll be taking it now at the 15-yard line, now in the red zone. Henley looking to convert points. Shaw Stork, 2 wide receivers to the near side. It's Colton Smith and Owen Sheen. Stork takes the snap, rolling to his left. He has blockers, cuts upfield, gets to the 10, now inside the 5, and he's brought down at the 4-yard line. Looks to be about a 10-yard gain. We'll see if they give him the 1st.
That's been a reliable play all season for Henley. He had some nice blocking on the near side, and Shaw able to pick up 8 or 9, almost enough for a 1st.
Shaw Stork, 650 rushing yards on the season. Just short of the 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 1. This one, another snap to Stork. He tries to get along the outside, bounces around, cuts upfield, and cuts for the end zone. And he's in for a Henley touchdown.
Shaw Stork showing his speed on the outside, and a nice block by Tolson Higgins to get him around the corner. And a nice first 4.5 minutes for the Hornets.
And now, Hornets, who are about 60% on the season on point afters. Owen Sheen to kick the point after, and Colton Smith to hold.
Colton Smith holding. Sheen will attempt the point after.
The snap, the hold, the kick is good. So the Henley Hornets take a 7-0 lead over the Pelicans with 7.5 to go in the first quarter. I'm going to take a break and be right back on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960.
On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
And we welcome you back to Hill O'Brien Field and the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 960 Sports. The Hornets up 7-0 with 7:35 to go in the first quarter, capping off a two-play drive, going 15 yards, capping it off with a 4-yard Shaw Stork rushing touchdown. That is his 12th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, the key to that scoring play was the defense. Henley's defense terrific, holding KU back near their own end zone, and then having a very short field to score that touchdown.
Owen Sheen to kick. Back to receive for the Pelicans was Silas Dutra, but it'll end up going into the end zone for a touchback. So the Pelicans taking over at their own 20 for their second drive of the game last time, going 3 and out.
That was an impressive kick. The wind is blowing right in the face of the Hornets in the first quarter. They're going right to left. And Owen just kind of hit a line drive and went out of the back of the end zone. That was nicely done.
You notice the thing about Owen Sheen and his kicks, he always seems to get those extra bounces and that extra trajectory. He's quite good at that.
Right.
1st and 10 for the Pelicans from their own 20-yard line. Dutra, 2 backs in the backfield. This one is a handoff up the middle.
Number 8 is running.
And it looked like Peterson on the carry ends up going backwards in the end of it all, but might have got 1 yard on forward progress. Regardless, 2nd down and long looming for the Pelicans.
Nice to see Braden Roach in there. He had a hold of his jersey, and he threw him back beyond the line of scrimmage. Short gain.
Lincoln Peterson, a senior back for this Pelicans team. Three wide receivers to the near side for Dutra, and one out to his left. Sends a man in motion. That's also Dutra. This one, a screen pass just a little bit too high, brings up 3rd down.
That pass might have been tipped by Owen Northcutt, who was back there putting a little pressure on the quarterback. Also Garrett Northcutt applying pressure.
So bring up 3rd and 10 for the Pelicans.
This is just where Henley wants to be. Force the opposition into a 3rd and long.
2 wide receivers to either side of Dutra. Takes a snap, rolls back, feels the pressure, goes to his left. A flag is down on the play, trying to run for the sticks, get out of bounds. Might have gained 2 on the play, but there is a flag in the backfield. And that'll be holding against the Pelicans. So even with the 1 yard gain, this one is coming back.
They may choose to decline this. We'll see what they decide. It would be 4th down.
And it looks like they are declining it, and that's the signal from the coaches and the officials. So that'll bring up 4th down. Another 3 and out forced by the Henley defense. And another punt for the Pels.
Yeah, they should get some good field position once again. Nice defensive stand.
Luke Bennett back to receive. The kick is up. High kick, bounces right before the 40, goes out of bounds. We'll see where they end up marking. It might be right at the 40-yard line.
We'll see what Henley decides to do here. Maybe they'll show us something a little different, or they'll try to establish the run. They've got a nice 7-0 lead, just under 6.5 minutes left to play here in the first quarter.
Last time the Hornets had the ball was gifted great field position at the KU 15. Only took them 2 plays to get into the end zone, both of them Shaw Stork keepers.
Anytime you can capitalize on a mistake, having that penalty was a was a nice gift for Henley, and they were able to turn it into 7 points.
Penalty against the Pelicans.
And we're moving the football again.
And he'll bring it to the 45-yard line on the other side of midfield. So now Henley, who's driving west, is now past midfield, going downfield. 2 wide receivers to the near side for Stork. It's 1st and 10 from the Pelican 45. Stork back there with Higgins. Snap, a play action pass, tries to unload it downfield and just overthrew his man, was streaking. And that was Owen Sheen, the intended target. Sean Stork just putting a little bit too much mustard on that one.
That was a nice play call. They were going to try the deep ball. A little play action to freeze the defense for just a second. Owen had a step or two on his defensive back there. A good idea. Didn't quite complete.
They're going to run pass plays just for practice.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Hornets from the 45. They lead 7-0 with just under 6.5 to go in the first. Stork takes a snap. He's rolling to his left side, coming near. He's being chased. Stutter steps at the 45, tries to cut back upfield, maybe gets 3-4 yards on the play, but is wrapped up pretty quickly. It'll bring up 3rd down.
There wasn't much there for Stork that time. He did a nice job just getting 3 or 4 yards on the carry.
So 3rd and 7 for the Hornets. This is where teams tend to have success against Henley, trying to force them to throw the football. And we'll see if they're able to convert on this 3rd down attempt right here. So far, 0 for 1. Sending a man in motion, coming to the near side. It's Colby Scholes as Stork drops back to pass, looks downfield, decides to roll out to the right, completes a pass downfield, gets the 1st down. There is a flag at about the 33-yard line. And Colby Scholes with the catch, but we'll see what the call is down on the field.
Nice job by Colby continuing to come back to his quarterback to get open, and a good throw by Shaw.
Legal forward pass.
I think that's the illegal man downfield.
Legal man downfield.
Perhaps, yeah. So they will take that one for sure.
So this one is coming back. Now, this is another one of those situations where Hornets having to throw the football again, and they'll repeat 3rd down.
KU had nice coverage. If Shaw hadn't bought himself some time by scrambling to the far side of the field, he never would have had a chance to throw the football. So good work by the DBs for the Pelicans.
Also good work by Scholes to get open late in that play, and a play that's kind of broken. He's able to make the catch, although it did come back. 3rd and 11. 2 wide receivers to either side of Stork. Takes the snap, is rolling out to his right, now cuts back left. Decides to take it himself. He's up past midfield, gets to the 40. He tries to cut back around and gets to the 30. Now to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Stork dives for the end zone and waiting the call. It is a touchdown for Shaw Stork and the Henley Hornets.
Yet another long touchdown for this Henley offense, and another spectacular run by Shaw Stork.
Having one of those nights, a 46-yard touchdown run for his 13th rushing touchdown of the season.
He was looking right the whole time to throw, and he saw nearly every player on the field was on that side. And he turned it around and put on the Jets. Picked up 6 points.
High snap for Smith. He holds it down. Sheen with the boot, and it's good. Hornets lead 14-0 with 4:50 to go in the first quarter, and Shaw Stork putting on a show in the early going.
On that last drive, the Henley offense, they took their time. In that first series, They were quick on the ball. They wanted to run the ball, pass the ball quickly. They ran their plays quickly. And then in that second drive, they took a lot more time. They were more methodical, and I really think that helps an offense when you can keep the defense off balance and do what you want to do, run the plays that you want to run, and Henley with another successful drive. Having a good first quarter offensively for sure.
45-yard rushing touchdown for Shaw Stork. He's able to move around that pocket. 13 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's 2 more than his passing touchdown total of 11. He can do it all.
He looks so confident when he runs. He had a long way to go to get the first down, but he just kind of picked his lane, made a couple of moves, and found himself in the open field.
So Owen Sheen to kick off to the Pelicans.
Sheen kicking off for the Hornets.
Back there for KU, Tony Ortiz. The kick is up. It's going to be, Ortiz is going to watch it go out of bounds. So KU should be able to take this one a little bit further upfield.
That kick was almost perfect. It almost snuck in the front corner of the end zone for a touchback, but instead they will get the out-of-bounds penalty.
Bounced right at the 1.
Yeah, it was close.
Are they bringing it back to the 20?
They can't spot it where it went out of bounds. It was a kickoff.
I don't know about high school ball.
Let's see where they mark it.
No, they're bringing the football out to the 35, so.
Yeah, they treat that just like an out-of-bounds kick, regardless of where it is. So
it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pels from their own 35 with 4:50 remaining in the first quarter. Last 2 possessions for the Pelicans have both been 3-and-outs.
Henley defense able to do the job with 3 down linemen, which is a set we've seen once in a while, but not that often this year, and it's worked very well so far.
Braden Dawson to the near side for KU. Also Lincoln Peterson. And Silas Dutra, the quarterback, sends a man in motion. This one a sweep coming to the near side and is hit hard right at the line of scrimmage.
Silas Dutra, 34, got him.
That was Garrett Northcutt. He came around the end and he was unimpeded to the runner. They made a nice tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Pelicans. Second time they've tried that sweep play, and second time they've been met at the line of scrimmage. Dutra takes a snap, hands it off up the middle, and that was Weehawk Crane on the carry.
Brought down by Austin Fitz.
3rd down.
Austin Fitz made a nice stop right there. With having just 3 linemen, the linebackers are able to be very aggressive for the Hornets, and that's really worked well so far.
3rd down coming up for the Pelicans. So far tonight, 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversion attempts. It's 3rd and 10.
We'll see if they try to throw the football here. Henley's defensive backs haven't been tested tonight. We'll see what happens.
Coming to the near side for the Pelicans, number 23, Carson Joyner. New receiver into the game we haven't seen too much of yet. Dutra takes the snap, is rolling to his left, unloads one downfield, and just overthrows his target. That was Dutra downfield. Silas Dutra and Jameis, the quarterback, a pair of twins. Just overthrowing his brother brings up 4th down.
Good coverage by the Hornets. There were a couple of defenders back there, really nowhere to throw the football, and Henley looks to get the ball back.
Another 3-and-out for the Pelicans, and just as you said, Hornets looking to get the ball back.
Defense been playing very well most of the season, especially the last few games.
It's Dutra with the punt. That one bounces out at around the 30. Luke Bennett going to let it bounce to the 25 and maybe to the 24. That's where the Hornets will take possession for the 4th time tonight.
That was well played by Luke. Sometimes when you're receiving punts, the right decision is to not try to make the catch. That was kind of a short hop, and he just stayed away from the football. Probably the right thing to do. And Henley gets possession.
1st and 10 for the Hornets. And, you know, Kevin, you mentioned the defense. 6 points given up 2 weeks ago to the Pirates. A shutout last week against North Valley. So the defense for the Hornets definitely playing the best they have all season.
Absolutely. Don't sell the defense short. They played very well. 2
receivers to the near side for Stork as the Hornets drive from right to left. Stork takes the handoff, rolling now to his left side. That's the near side. Cuts upfield at the 20. He sheds off 1 tackle before cutting up for a gain of about 3 yards. Stork looked to have made pretty solid contact with David Chamberlain, but stayed on his feet and kept going for what they're calling a gain of about 2.
For as quick as Stork is, he's also a hard runner. He doesn't give up. He won't do that quarterback slide that we see the guys on Sunday do. He will lower his shoulder and try to pick up the yards. So I think we're sorting out a penalty here.
Right, Henley going backwards to the 15, so a loss of 10 yards on the play, holding against the Hornets. So this one's coming back, although that doesn't take away from the good run Shaw just had. It will be 1st and 20. 2 wide receivers to the right for Stork, 1 to the near side, that's his left. He's also got the running back to his right side. This one going to be a handoff to Higgins. Finds himself a hole, gets to the 20, now to the 25 before being wrestled out of bounds. Call it a gain of about 12 on the play, brings up 2nd and roughly 8 yards.
That's a nice play on 1st and 20. They got more than half of it back. And some good downfield blocking by Colton Smith. He was really working his defender at the end of that run.
I'm always impressed by how well the receiving core for Henley blocks as well. They commit themselves on the run.
They sure do.
2nd and 8 for the Hornets. Stork with 3 receivers to his right and gets Klamath Union to jump on the hard count. This one going to be moving forward for the 2nd down play.
That's another nice break for the Hornets.
Offsides.
The penalties have helped Henley early in this game for sure.
Bring up 2nd down and about 4. Yard to gain is the 34-yard line. This one, Stork takes a snap, hands it off to Tolson Higgins. He battles his way forward for a gain of about 5 yards. Looks like he just got past the sticks for a Hornets first down.
I think you're right, Josh. I think he picked it up. Nice hard run, especially at the end, to finish that carry and get the 1st down.
Another 1st down this evening for Henley, their 3rd of the night. As with 1:12 to go in the 1st quarter, the Hornets lead 14-0 over the crosstown rival Klamath Union Pelicans. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35. Stork with 1 receiver to the near side and 2 out wide to the far side. Sends a man in motion, that's Smith. This one, a play action pass with the sweep. Trying to hit his man on the out route. It was Fitz, intended receiver, but just falls incomplete.
Braden Dawson with nice coverage for the Pelicans back there. Really didn't give Shaw any place to put the football.
And Henley hasn't been forced to throw the ball too many times tonight, opting to throw it there on 1st down, and just as you said. And there's going to be too many men on the field for Klamath Union. As I was watching David Chamberlain try to get off the field in time, but Stork, I believe, was able to get the snap off right maybe a half step before Chamberlain got off the field.
I don't know if he saw that or not, but it was a fortunate move. And it'll probably earn the Hornets 5 yards.
Josh said too many men on the field.
And it is going against KU. They'll bring it forward 5 yards.
Against the Pelicans.
2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5. Yard to gain the 45. They take it from their own 40. Hornets with 40 seconds left to go in the first quarter, a game which they lead 14-0. Stork takes a snap, play action to Higgins, dumps it off near side to Owen Sheen at the 40. He's able to get upfield past midfield, now to the 45 before being brought down at the 42-yard line. About a 18-yard gain on the play for Owen Sheen and a first down for the Hornets.
Well done by Owen. That was all Owen with the run after the catch. He made a nice move and was able to pick up almost 20.
First and 10 from the 40. The Hornets driving downfield. Stork takes a snap, drops back to pass, unloads it across the middle of the field, and incomplete. Stops the clock with 15 seconds to go in the first and brings up 2nd and 10.
That was kind of a weird situation. Stork threw the ball between two receivers, Bennett and Fitz, and I think one thought the other was going to grab it, and it turned out nobody grabbed it, so incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the left for Stork, also Higgins to his left. This one going to be a handoff to Higgins. He's met at the 40, spins around one defender, and maybe gets 1 or 2 yards on the play, brings up 3rd and long.
Jet Johnson with a good tackle for KU. And a little bit of sportsmanship as he helps Tulsa up as the quarter ends.
All right, that brings us to the end of the first, where the Hornets lead 14-0 over the Klamath Union Pelicans. The Hornets continue this possession when we come back on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 90 Sports.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
I remember those days. I remember those days.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Jumping right back into the action. It's a 3rd and 9 situation for the Hornets. They are in Klamath Union territory. This one a snap and a sweep coming to the near side, as cutting upfield and getting hit at about the 32-yard line was Austin Fitz. Looks like he might have been just maybe a half yard short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th for the Hornets, but deep into KU territory. One of those situations where Coach Stork might opt to roll the dice.
Yeah, they might go for it here. Coach Pashy wanting to see Austin Fitz run the football a little bit. That's the 2nd time we've seen him do that, and with good success. So the offense will stay on the field with a 4th and short.
Now 4th and short offense staying out there. The Hornets lead 14-0, 11:51 to go in the second quarter. And it'll be 4th and inches for the Hornets. Stork takes the snap. It's a designed keeper. He's able to cut upfield, gets to the 25, now to the 20, sheds off a couple of defenders, and it takes a flock of Pelicans to bring him out of bounds at about the 15. I'll call it the 17-yard line.
We've seen that a lot this year. When it's 4th and short, all reliable. You just send Shaw to one side, keep the ball and run, and he'll pick up the first down most of the time, and he did there.
Put the ball in the hands of your best players, and that's what they do. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, deep into KU territory. So far, every time Henley has entered the red zone, they've scored. It's only been once tonight, and it was a 4-yard keeper for Stork for a touchdown. Trip set up to the far side for Stork, but this one, the snap, it's handed off to Tolson Higgins. Tries to spin around one defender and falls forward for a gain of about 5 yards, maybe 6 on the play.
Silas Dutra made a nice tackle there, keeping Tolson from picking up any more yards. And Henley's done a pretty good job running the football with a variety of people so far in this first half.
It'll bring up 2nd and about 5 for the Hornets. 2 backs in the backfield. It's Higgins and Northcutt, Garrett Northcutt. This one handed off again. Up the middle, looks like enough for a first down. And I believe that was Higgins on the carry. Might have been just short of the sticks.
I think it's 34.
That's just about a yard short. I like that 2-back set when you can lead block with Tolson and have Garrett running behind him. And they're going to do it again here.
Same formation with just a yard to gain on 3rd down. This one is a handoff to Tolson. He gets tripped up in the backfield, but I believe the forward momentum he had allowed him to launch his body past the sticks. It'll bring up 1st and goal for the Hornets inside the 5, well, maybe right at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, just enough of a hole, as that time they switched over and ran the ball to the left side. Just enough to create a 1st and goal.
Same formation for the Hornets, where Northcutt is off to the left of Stork and Higgins off to his right. He's also got 2 receivers to the left side. Stork, this one, a handoff to Northcutt. He cuts upfield and gets into the end zone for a Henley Hornets touchdown.
Nice play call by Coach Pashy and the Henley offense. Cashes in again. Garrett Northcutt with the run there, and KU may be focusing a little bit on Tolson Higgins, and that's probably a wise decision. He's had a great season. And when you do that, you leave your other runners open, and Garrett had a lot of room.
5 yards out, Northcutt able to convert, and now the point after. Smith gets the snap, holds it still for Owen Sheen, who splits the uprights, and the score now 21-0 in favor of the Hornets with 10 minutes left to go in the second. We're going to stick with you through this one, Kevin. That drive for the Hornets could be up there for longest of the season. 12 plays and lasted 5 minutes, going 75 yards.
Yeah, that's nice when you can show some ball control. Henley's known for getting yards in big chunks, and they've done that even again tonight. But it's very important to be able to put long drives together. That, for the most part, that won the Lapine game earlier in the season. When you could control the ball for 4 or 5 minutes and end up with a touchdown, that's exactly what you want from your offense.
Continuing to do it on the ground, too. They converted on 3rd down once in that drive. They converted on 4th down once in that drive. Keeping the ball rolling, picked up 3 first downs. Looking good doing that. Ball control.
Looking very good. Showed some different formations. The offense is really productive this evening.
So back to receive for the Pelicans. It's going to be Silas Dutra and Tony Ortiz. As Owen Sheen with the kick. It's up and fielded at about the 7-yard line. Brought up past the 20 by Dutra. He's able to get some room on the far sideline. Gets to the 30 and not quite to the 35 before being brought down. KU will take possession at about the 34.
Dutra had a nice little run back there, and it looked like Connor Sieben was in on the stop.
So Klamath Union, their first 3 possessions, it's been 3 and out. So we'll see if they're able to get something going for the Pelicans. Maybe try some more through the passing game. They've had a couple of good looks. It'll be 1st and 10. Dutra looks to get the pass off quick, doesn't see anyone, and is wrapped up in the backfield, and a sack for the Hornets.
17 and 60.
Nice job getting in the backfield. Owen Northcutt back there. Austin Fitz back there as well. It's a loss of about 5.
It'll be 2nd and 15 coming up for the Pels.
This Henley defense is really tuned in tonight.
2 receivers to the near side for KU. It's Dutra and Ortiz. This one, A keeper for Dutra in the backfield. He's able to fight forward for a gain of 3 yards on the play. Brings up third and very long, about 3rd and 12.
Tulsa Higgins with the stop. Colby Scholes also right there.
3rd and 12.
KU so far tonight, 3rd down conversions, 0 for 3. But KU is Henley has kept KU pretty well behind the sticks tonight. Haven't had the opportunity to go for it on 3rd and short, really. It's all been third and long.
Yeah, Henley's done a nice job of kind of predicting what will be coming at them. So
3rd down and 12. Dutra takes the snap, rolls to his left, and tries to get it to Dutra on the near side. The pass is incomplete, but there's a flag well after the play in front of the Henley sideline.
Tyler Harper was on the coverage there, and to be honest, I think he just kind of tripped over himself and fell into the receiver out there. But it was late, and it was out of bounds, and they are going to pick up the flag. Yeah, I thought he just kind of tripped over himself there.
It's one of those calls that's kind of tough to make, though, picking up the flag. That's a judgment call, but yeah, you're probably right. Just tripped and you make contact after the play is over. It's football. It tends to happen. It'll bring up the punting unit for KU for the 4th time tonight. Dutra to punt, Bennett back to receive. A low snap. Dutra has a little bit of trouble with it, picks it up, is able to get the punt off anyway. Kicks it out to about the 31-yard line where Bennett fields it, gets up to the 35, and now up past the 45, now the 50, before being brought down on the other side of midfield at roughly the 47-yard line.
Luke Bennett has shown his skills tonight, fielding punts. That was a nice carry to bring the ball over the midfield line.
Still down a little bit.
It'll be 1st and 10 when the Hornets offense scored their last 3 drives, all rushing touchdowns. This will be a 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Stork gets the snap, rolling over to his right side, trying to find a hole and gets one. Now up past the 45, gets the 40. Up the near sideline, he gets up past the 30, now the 25, and he is wrestled out of bounds just before the 20. Might have got there. That is a big gain for Shaw Stork and the Henley Hornets, about a 27-yard gain.
Another big chunk of yardage for the Henley offense. And Austin Fitz and Colby Scholes, both with terrific blocks down that sideline.
7 first downs tonight for the Hornets. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 20. Klamath Union so far tonight 2 for 2 in the red zone with a pair of touchdowns. 1st and 10. Stork. He's got one receiver to his right, 2 to his left, also Higgins to his left. Stork, play action pass, looks towards the end zone, and the pass falls incomplete, no flags down. Looked like there might have been some contact off the break there, but it'll bring up 2nd down.
Stork was looking for Sheen out there, and I like the decision to throw on 1st down, throw on 2nd, keep the defense off balance. That's been Henley's strength all season.
Hornets lead right now 21-0 with 7:40 to go in the 2nd quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers to left of Stork. Takes a snap, play action pass, and Henley running kind of the flood play. The pass falls incomplete, but there is a flag in the backfield. It's going to be holding against the Hornets, so this one coming back.
That pass was supposed to be a quick little out to the far side, but Braden Dawson, it did not fool him. He was all over that play, and it was probably a good thing that the ball sailed out of bounds. Henley will get to another chance at 2nd down here.
It'll be 2nd about 20, although a discussion about where the ball is going to be placed They're finally moving it.
Holding on Henley.
On this series, Henley's going with one back set. The previous series, they went with two. So you just don't know what you're going to get.
Timeout's going to be called by the Henley Hornets. Would like to remind you that this game is brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty. They've got buyer and seller guarantees. If you buy a house from Coldwell Banker Holman Premier Realty, they'll cover the labor for any repairs and keep up you might need on your home. So be sure to check them out on Facebook and give them a call. Check them out, Coldwell Banker, HolmanPremierRealty.com. Subbing in for the Hornets, it's going to be number 60, Owen Northcutt, offensive lineman, as it's going to be a second down and long situation for the Hornets.
Henley's had to deal with 2nd and 20 a few times tonight, but they've done a good job of being able to pick up the first down, either getting a big gain all at once or 2 or 3 shorter ones. So we'll see what Coach Pashy decides to do here.
Second and 20. One receiver to the near side, it's Sheen.
2nd and 20.
Stork gets the snap, feels the pressure, rolls to his left, and completes the pass. No, just falls out of his hands. Would have been about a 10-yard completion to Owen Sheen. Instead, falls incomplete.
Austin Fitz ran an out route to the near side, and he had the ball, and then he went to the ground and rolled, and the ball just came loose. So a good effort there, and a good throw by Shaw Stork.
And it'll bring up 3rd down and 20. So far tonight, the Hornets 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. Stork takes the snap, rolls to his left, unloads one downfield. He's got an open receiver in the end zone, and it is incomplete. Had a man all by himself with his own zip code in the end zone, and it falls incomplete. Colton Smith, the intended receiver.
That was Colton Smith out there, and he's pleading his case. I think he thought he made the catch, but there were 2 officials on the scene, and they did not agree. And that brings up a 4th down at an interesting portion of the field here.
You know, your Coach Stork at this point, you're into KU territory. The running game has worked. Maybe you just try to chip away a couple of yards and, you know, maybe try to pin KU inside the 20, something like that. They're keeping the offense out there. 4th and 20. We'll see if they decide to pass the football. That is the case. Stork drops back to pass, unleashes one downfield, and it is incomplete.
He was looking for Smith on a post route right down the center of the field, and there was a little bumping and pushing going on down there. But it will be KU's football. Turnover on downs.
So KU will then take over at the Henley 31. 7:08 to go in the second quarter, a game in which the Hornets lead 21-0. So far, KU tonight, 4 3-and-outs, looking to get some yardage, pick up a couple of first downs, run the clock a little bit, keep that defense off the field if you're the Pelicans.
Absolutely. KU needs to string together some first downs.
Dutra takes the snap, looks to his left, throws across the middle of the field, and it's complete to Dutra. He's got some daylight in front of him. He's up past the 20, inside the 10, and brought down at the 5. And apologies, that was Tony Ortiz on the catch.
That was a nice play by the Pelicans. You could feel there's a sense of desperation. KU needs to get some offense going, and they need to get it going right now. And that was a great play. Owen Sheen made a touchdown-saving tackle. So there's still some work to be done for the Pelicans, but a nice gainer there.
It'll now be 1st and goal for the Pelicans. Ortiz turned on the gas there and got to the 6. So the 1st and goal from the 6. KU trying to punch in points for the first time tonight. A snap to Dutra, rolling to his left, tries to find some room. He's wrapped up in the backfield and brought down for a loss of 5.
Tolson Higgins slicing through the line and getting in the backfield. A significant loss there on 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the 11 now, as that will be a loss of 5 on the play. Subbing out for the Pels, number 40, Cameron Cordonier.
It's hard to pick up when those Henley linebackers decide that they're going to come through the line. It's hard to pick those guys up.
Ortiz and Dutra set out to the right side. And a packed backfield. Dutra going to hand it off up the middle and falls forward for a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Good line play. Fitz and Northcutt on the stop. And now it gets interesting. 3rd and goal.
That was Chris Borison on the carry for KU. 5.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. Henley leads 21-0, but the Pelicans knocking on the door, and they will take a timeout with 5:18 to go here in the 2nd. This drive for KU started off really well. They go backwards on their first 2 plays from, they go forward on the 2nd play inside the goal line, but KU making some noise here in this drive.
Yeah, by far their best opportunity to put points on the board in this game. And that just goes to show you a little bit why you don't quit on a play or you don't give up. Owen Sheen had to come clear across the field to make that tackle inside the 5, but it may prove to be a valuable play.
Klamath Union's offense back out there. The Henley defense heading back out onto the field as well.
Yeah, whatever KU had to say, it didn't take long. They know what play they want to run. They're back out there.
It'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 8. KU packed backfield once more. This one a handoff up the middle, trying to fight forward and gets about 6 yards on the play, just short of the goal line. Weehawk Crane on the carry for KU.
That KU just loaded the backfield with 3 backs and just did the old wedge and push, and they didn't quite get there. So now they have a decision to make. 4th down. They're about 3 yards out.
4th and goal from about the 4. Same set for KU with the jam-packed backfield. This one, it's going to be a design keeper for Dutra. He gets into the end zone untouched for a Klamath Union touchdown.
That was a nice play call. That time the quarterback kept the football, and the line opened up, and he waltzed right through there. Good drive for the Pelicans.
Touchdown was from about 4 yards out for Jameis Dutra. On to kick the extra point is Jameis Dutra. Kick is held still, and the extra point attempt is no good, just a little bit low, so the score will remain 21-6 with 4.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. The Hornets still leading the ball game. You've got the MyBasin.com game of the week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quatrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com game of the week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. There is 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter of a 21-6 ball game. The Hornets are in the lead. The Pelicans kick off. That ball going to bounce around, go out of bounds, and Henley will take over at their own 35 to start this drive.
If you watch football often, you know that momentum plays a factor. And you just felt watching this game, Josh, that KU needed to do something on that last drive. And they were successful, and they put themselves, I think, back in the game. 21-6 now. So now it's Henley's turn to see if they can get the momentum back, maybe put together another long drive or a big play here, and score another touchdown with about 4.5 left to play and a half.
Stork leads his team back out onto the field. 1st and 10 from the 35. Stork gives the option. He gives it off to Higgins, who's able to cut upfield. He's got some room, runs through one Pelican defender, and gets to the 40 on the other side of midfield. At a 25-yard run for Tolson Higgins.
More good blocking out there for the Hornets. And that's the first time we've seen Tolson kind of able to cut loose and show his speed. And he made his way clear down to the 40.
It was a great kind of fake by Stork. You saw him look left like he was going to keep it himself and then hand it off to Higgins, who was cutting off the far side, and was able to sell that pretty well. Higgins had some room, and room enough for 25 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 40.
Absolutely.
Two receivers to the near side for Stork. Takes the snap. This time it is a keeper. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and is swallowed up. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
It's like Joshua Mejia on the tackle there. And that was some nice defense by KU.
Brings up 2nd and 11. Henley, they've had to play behind the sticks a couple times tonight and have had success. See what Stork can drum up here in a false start. The Henley offensive line, this one going to come back just a little bit further, brings up 2nd and about 16.
Henley may be in a passing down situation here. We haven't really seen the passing game click tonight like we're used to.
Well, they're calling this against KU.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Wow.
I'm surprised. I thought I saw Henley move on that.
Against KU.
That's very surprising. So this is going to actually be a 2nd and about 6. Henley, another lucky break. I definitely thought that one was coming back, but Henley, 2nd and 6 from about the 36-yard line. Stork getting ready for the snap, takes it. This one a handoff to Higgins. No, Stork on the keeper. Tries to cut around to the outside, gets back to the line of scrimmage before being brought down. Lincoln Peterson in on the tackle, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was well played by Klamath Union. As Shaw Stork faked the ball to Tolson and tried to sway the defense one direction, but it didn't work. And that leaves Henley with a 3rd down and about 6.
Luke Bennett into the game as a receiver. Brings up 3rd and 6. Colton Smith lined up to the near side for Henley. And another man up front for the Pelicans jumping. Believe that was number 57, Luis Garcia.
And that's another good break for the Hornets.
So not enough to get a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and about 1. So far tonight for the Hornets, 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Their 1 conversion on 3rd down ended up going for 6. It was a Shaw Stork keeper for a touchdown. 3rd down and 1. Stork handing it off up the middle to Tolson Higgins. He gets gain of 4 on the play. Good enough for a Hornets 1st down.
If you need to pick up 1, Higgins is your guy. He's a good hard runner, and even with traffic in there, he's able to pick up 3 or 4 and the 1st down.
For Henley tonight, that is their 8th 1st down of the evening. They lead 21-6 with a minute 30 to go in the 1st half. 1st and 10, a man in motion. This is sweep to the near side for Bennett. He's being wrapped up and brought down for a big loss on the play.
6 carries on that. Luke Bennett carries. Down by Quaylar.
Loss of about 7 on the play.
Lamar Cuellar for the Pelicans with a big loss. Big tackle for loss by Lamar.
60 seconds left to go in the first half. The Hornets lead 21-6, and they've got possession of football, although it's second and about 17. Stork takes a direct snap, rolls to his left, unloads one downfield. He's got a man open, and it's caught. Having trouble wrestling him down. A big reception down at the 1. Colton Smith on the catch.
That's a nice decision to go deep. Really nothing to lose for the Hornets with 40 seconds to play. Try to get some more points.
At a 38-yard catch for Smith, and now it's first and goal from the 1. The Hornets trying to hurry it up. It's a Shaw Stork option keeper, and he dives into the end zone for a Henley Hornets touchdown. Shaw Stork's 14th rushing touchdown of the season.
Well done by Stork, finishing off the drive, and let's give some credit to Colton Smith on that previous play. He was wrapped up inside the 10, and he just kept spinning and driving his legs and got that ball clear down to the 1, enabling Stork to push it over the line for 6 more.
Smith gets the snap. Sheen with the kick. It's a little bit lower than he might have liked, but still, that's good for the extra point. The Hornets lead 28-6 with 20 and a half seconds to go in the first half. That drive, 7 plays, going 65 yards in 4 minutes and 10 seconds, capping it off with a 1-yard Shaw Stork touchdown run.
Another big play. How many times have we seen that where Henley can just somehow get the big run or the big throw just when they need it?
Puts the Hornets up 28-6. Be sure to stick with us through halftime, which is just a short bit away. We'll recap the game as we have it thus far and take a look around the conference. We're getting close to playoff time. I'll tell you how the top 10 and the OSAA is shaping up, and also run down the playoff scenarios for you at halftime, so be sure to stick around for that. The kickoff for the Henley Hornets bounces around the 10-yard line, goes out of bounds again, just about the 1 or 2 yard line. Same kick as before almost.
That's the second time we've seen that. We haven't seen that all year. He's done it twice in a row. We're just short of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 35.
So KU, they've got 20 seconds. They've got 1 timeout left by my count. And a chance to maybe drive the ball downfield, although they will get it to start the second half. So let's see what they decide to do. Maybe break off a play. Maybe get back in the ball game, although no receivers out wide. Looks like they might just run out the clock. Well, this one, a reverse run play, ends up getting stuffed and going backwards. On the carry there was Dutra.
There's a late flag.
Very late flag with 6 seconds to go in the half. And we'll see what the call ends up being.
They're having quite a discussion out there.
And we get the official signal. Delay of game against Klamath Union before the play started?
Delay of game Henley against Klamath Union.
Interesting.
And unsportsmanlike as well. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But that pushes the football way back.
So with 6 seconds left, there'll be one play.
Yes. He threw away from the
And looks like we're about ready to go now for the final play of the half. This one, a handoff up the middle. Doesn't go anywhere. That will bring us to the end of the first half, a game in which the Henley Hornets lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 28-6. We're right back with a halftime show on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. TCB number 188923. Equal opportunity employer.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. At halftime tonight from Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School as the Hornets taking on the Klamath Union Pelicans. Right now the Hornets, after one half, lead 28-6. And Kevin, I feel like it's an episode of TV I've seen before. Shaw Stork, 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, that offense knows how to put points on the board, but I'd also like to say that the defense for Henley played almost a perfect game in that first half. They gave up one long pass play, and then KU was able to score on a 4th down. But other than that, the Henley defense has really been sharp, and they've also been able to take advantage of some penalties and some key situations to score the football when they need to and build a 22-point lead.
Let's talk about that defense for a second, because I was pretty impressed in the ability of them to get in the backfield. Klamath Union likes to air it out as well, and the defensive backs have really been able to cover KU's receivers really well. What have you seen from the Hornets defense?
Yeah, they've done a nice job. They seem to kind of know what's coming. They've done a good job of anticipating the plays and predicting exactly where the football may go. And as we said, except for that one long ball, the Henley defense has been in the right spot at the right time.
You know, the Klamath Union defense on the other side of the coin, you know, they've given up 28 points, but some of that has been virtue of good field position. I'd say Henley has put together one really long drive. It was a 12-play drive that took them from 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter to 10 minutes in the second, so a 5-minute drive, 12 plays, capped that one off with a short little Garrett Northcutt touchdown. But past that, you know, Klamath Union has been able to slow down these small plays for Henley. It's just been a lot of big plays in the run game for the Hornets so far, and it's tough to contain guys like Shaw Stork, Garrett Northcutt, Tolson Higgins, who can, you know, bust out 25 yards at any given time.
Right. Henley's weapons have been causing trouble for defenses all year, and tonight's no exception. KU has some athletes, and they have some speed, and you know, we can see that they can definitely get back in this game. There's not a turnover in the game, so it isn't like we have a lot of mistakes as far as turning the ball over. Just some good, solid play by Henley's defense and offense in that first half.
Give you a couple numbers from the first half. In terms of first downs, Henley has 9 first downs tonight. Klamath Union just the 1. Third down conversions, Henley tonight is just 1 for 4. Klamath Union is 0 for 4. In third down conversions. Take a look at fourth down conversions. Henley's had a couple opportunities to go for it, just 1 for 2. Klamath Union has not gone for it on fourth down except for, pardon me, I misspoke there. 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions after that touchdown run in that second quarter. Gave them 6 points. They trail 28-6 for the Henley Hornets. And Kevin, you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we're getting close to the end of the Skyline Conference regular season. Both of these teams mathematically still in the playoff race, although fighting for different spots in that playoff race. Henley still kind of in the mix for that second place spot. Klamath Union still in the mix for that third place spot. So still a big second half left to be played in this ball game.
Yeah, these games are meaningful, and as a coach and a player, the most fun comes when you can extend your season. If you can just make the playoffs and give your team a chance for that state championship, that's really where the fun begins. And it's nice to see that both teams can play games that mean something with just 2 weeks out here. Henley just needs to win one of the next 2, and KU needs to win both. So we'll see how that turns out here in the second half.
We'll take a little bit more of an in-depth look at the Skyline Conference and the playoff picture as it's shaping up in the 4A in Oregon. Coming up next as we continue the halftime show as the Henley Hornets lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 28-6 on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
On Top Tree Services have one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew's ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. At halftime, in a ball game in which the Henley Hornets lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 28-6. Kevin, we talked about it a little bit. This game still important in terms of the playoffs. Taking just a brief look at the Skyline Conference standings, Mazama at the top of the list. They are 3-0 in league play. Henley and Hidden Valley, both a pair of 2-1 teams right now, kind of knotted up for that second place spot. North Valley and Klamath Union, they're both 1-2, fighting for that third place spot in the conference tonight. And then Phoenix 0-3 right now. They're towards the bottom of the Skyline Conference. But Kevin, 3 teams and kind of a 4-team race, just like we said. Well, now it kind of extended to a 5-team race in the Skyline Conference, and only 2 weeks left to go. Things are going to continue to get interesting.
Yeah, you definitely have to play out the schedule, and it's kind of complicated, but we should also mention the rankings also play a little part in where you will be seated in the playoffs and who you play and whether you're at home or on the road. So definitely important, especially in Henley's case. I think if they could get a couple of impressive wins, they could even earn a home playoff game, and that's always kind of a neat thing to have. So definitely lots to play for here the last 2 weeks.
Right, so in terms of the OSAA 4A playoffs, the 16-team bracket, 15 teams automatically qualify for the OSAA 16-team bracket based off of their regular season placement in their conference. So here in the Skyline Conference, we get 3 teams. A couple of the districts get 2 teams. A handful also get 3. So that'll place 15 teams in the 16-team bracket. 1 team gets an at-large bid, and you get paired off from there. They go off of the OSAA rankings, which right now I'll give you the top 16 teams. As Estacada is number 1, Cascade number 2, Mazama, Skyline Conference opponent, is at number 3 right now in the state. They are followed up by Marshfield at number 4. Marist is ranked 5th, Banks at number 6. LeGrand is 7, followed by North Eugene and Tillamook at 8 and 9. Our Henley Hornets are 10th in the state right now, followed by Baker, North Valley, Gladstone, Hidden Valley, and Seaside, your top 15 teams in the state, and then Staten is at number 16. So a lot of good teams towards the top of this bracket, but even going down here, North Valley, they're still a fairly young team, but very good. Hidden Valley, a good team. They're at 14 right now. Seaside, a good squad at 15. So as these rankings continue to shake out, if the playoffs were to start today for the Henley Hornets, it would be a road game against LeGrand, which is quite a ways. Luckily, the playoffs don't start today. We could avoid LeGrand in the first round of the playoffs, but still some football left to be played, to be sure.
Yeah, we're not afraid to travel. We've done a little bit of that this year.
We have done a little bit of that. This time it won't necessarily be due to the smoke, but
that's right.
We'll be on the road potentially. But again, Henley, if they find themselves in that top 8, could end up hosting a home playoff game as well. So that definitely in the mix, that even though it is senior night tonight and some of these seniors playing their last regular season game here, we could potentially be back here in a couple of weeks. That's still also on the table.
Sure. We have a nice crowd tonight, too. We really haven't mentioned Thursday games, a little tougher to draw a crowd. It's a school night. It's a work night. And, of course, last week was homecoming. So a good turnout for the seniors and they're halfway home to getting themselves a win.
These Henley Hornets right now, they lead 28-6 over the Klamath Union Pelicans. We've still got 24 minutes left of football to play, and we'll get there next on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week, 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. CCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Still at halftime tonight from Henley High School. The Hornets lead the Pelicans 28-6, and still a relatively tight ball game. Only a couple scores separating these two teams. Kevin, what do you expect to see here in the second half?
Well, KU's still in this game, and they're going to need to get a quick score and get themselves in a chance to win. I know that that's what they talked about. At halftime, they didn't even go into the locker room. They stayed at that half of the field. I know they want to get back out there and prove that they can score. Henley, on the other hand, they just kind of want to keep doing what they're doing. They were able to put together a good half, and they're just one half away from securing a playoff spot. So exciting half coming up for the Hornets if they can pull it off.
Klamath Union will start with the football in the second half tonight in their red helmets with white jerseys. They've got red trim around black numbering and lettering on the front and back, red pants with a white stripe down the side. Henley tonight in the varsity home black uniforms with the navy blue helmet and the yellow H on the side with the yellow stripe. They've got black jerseys with yellow trim around black numbering and lettering on the front and back, black pants with a yellow stripe down the side. Klamath Union again will get the ball back to start this second half, a game in which they trailed the Hornets 28-6. Their offense started working a little bit at the end of that first half. We'll see if the Pelicans can end up keeping it going as the teams out onto the field. Seems like we are ready for the second half of football. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick tonight and my good friend Nick Bradford running the live stream on mybasin.com. Owen Sheen to kick off, and it is up. A big kick that is going to bounce at about the 2-yard line, bounce into the end zone, and a touchback. That time, Sheen didn't have to worry too much about the out of bounds. He kicked it right down the middle.
Yeah, Owen's showing some strength tonight, putting the ball in the end zone almost every time.
So KU takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 20. As we look north tonight at Henley High School, they drive from left to right towards the east. KU, they scored on their last legitimate drive, although they did end the last half with about 6 seconds left to go. Their last full drive did end in 6. Dutra going to hand it off on the first play of the game, first play of the half, rather, to Lincoln Peterson. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down for the Pels.
Garrett Northcutt, just a solid tackle. That ball got nowhere. Matter of fact, they may even have lost a yard.
So it'll be 2nd and about 11. KU takes it, 11.5 to go in the third quarter. Peterson in motion. Dutra rolling to his left, finds a little bit of room, tries to cut upfield, and tackled again for another loss of about a yard. 3rd and long coming up for KU.
17.
Another nice stop by the Henley defense. And they're picking up right where they left off, leaving Klamath Union with another 3rd and long.
Done a good job of keeping KU behind the sticks pretty much all evening.
3rd and 12.
Dutra takes a snap on 3rd and 12, looks to the near side, and it's completed to Ortiz. A gain of about 17 on the play, good enough for a KU first down, and that Dutra-Ortiz connection working again for the Pels.
That was the same play. That was the same big play that they had earlier in the game. Just a little post route right across the middle for a big gain.
Only the 2nd first down of the night for KU, but they do have 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Dutra takes a snap, drops back to pass, feels the pressure, gets around one defender, finds some room upfield, spins around another, and is hit after a gain of 3 on the play. Dutra able to stay alive, I think, a lot longer than any of the Hornets thought, a gain of 3.
Yeah, that was a nice effort by Dutra because that could have easily been a loss, and he turned that in to a gain of about 3. So that was all just effort. Well done.
2nd and about 7. The yard to gain is the 46, and they're taking it from the 39. Dutra takes the snap, rolling out to his left, bounces around, has a little bit of room, and dives forward, a gain of about 3 on the play. But I believe there is a flag down. It's going to be holding against the Pelicans, so a 3-yard gain going to end up coming backwards. It'll stay 2nd down for the Pels.
Pelicans have had some unfortunate penalties tonight, just at the wrong time for them. Just when they need some momentum, or maybe when they're stopping the Hornets on the drive, the penalties have just not been their friend tonight, even more than usual.
So it'll be 2nd and about 20. The Pels. Ortiz lined up to the near side.
2nd and 20.
Dutra takes a snap, rolls back, looks right, and that pass is intercepted for Klamath Union. That'll be Garrett Northcutt on the interception for the Henley Hornets, and a big turnover. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 25.
What a play by Garrett Northcutt. You know, it is not easy for a linebacker to have to go back into pass coverage, and that's exactly what Garrett had to do right there. And he read the quarterback's eyes, and he jumped right in front of the receiver. Just a perfectly executed interception.
Shaw Stork leading his offense back out onto the field with the hat trick in the first half. 3 touchdowns, and he's going to keep it on this 1st and 10 play. Stutter steps back at the line of scrimmage, ends up going backwards for a loss of 1 on the play, and a late flag again on the far side of the field.
Stork had nowhere to go right there. It was good defense from the Pelicans, but we'll see what the penalty brings.
And we'll see what the call ends up being. The flag came out after the play was over. Personal foul against the Hornets. So this one coming back.
That's the first one we've seen of those against the Hornets tonight, and it comes at an inopportune time after the turnover. It'll make things a little more difficult.
So they take it now from about the 42. The yard to gain is the 15. 2nd down. This one's going to be a handoff to Tolson Higgins. He gets up past the 40, not quite to the 35. Call it a gain of about 7 on the play.
That was a nice solid gain. It's 3rd and very long, but you have to assume Henley will take 2 downs to try to pick up the first here.
It's 3rd down and about 21. Stork with Higgins in the backfield, 3 receivers out to the right. Stork takes the snap, drops back to pass, moves up into the pocket, and gets one to, tries to get it to Higgins. The pass falls incomplete, almost intercepted by Dutra. Got his hands on it as Shaw Stork put a little bit too much air under that one, falls incomplete, brings up 4th down and very long.
Yeah, Jameis Dutra had that one, just slipped onto the turf. And Shaw tried to put a little touch on that one and just gave it a little too much air. And the defense was able to get underneath it. So now we have another one of these weird situations where it's 4th and very long around the 35-yard line.
So far tonight, 4th down conversions. Henley 1 for 3 on the evening. Keeping the offense out there. 4th and 21. Stork drops back to pass. Rolling to his right. Feels the pressure, moves up into the pocket, and gains a couple on the play. Well short of the sticks. It'll be a turnover on downs. The Pelicans take over at about the 34-yard line in their own territory.
That's just what KU needed. They had a turnover to deal with. They stopped the Hornets. That defensive secondary was right on the money on that last play. There was no one for Shaw to throw to, and KU has earned the football back.
They will take over at their own 35 with 7:51 to go in the third. Henley right now leads the Pelicans 28-6. 1st and 10. Dutra going to keep it on the option. It's a decent gain on the play of about 7. And that'll bring up 2nd down for the Pels.
That was a nice play. KU starting to show a little more push on that line. And the ground game starting to work a little bit. 2nd down and a very manageable 4 or 5 yards.
2nd and about 4. Lined up to the near side for KU, number 23, Carson Joyner. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Dutra takes a snap, is going to hand it off to, I believe that was Peterson up the middle. A gain of 5 on the play. Looks like he got past the stick. Should be good for a KU 1st down.
And there is a penalty.
Against KU, it's holding.
Just when they get a 1st down and a couple of good line surges, they have to back it up once again.
So that'll bring them well behind the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and roughly 15. KU in a much different situation. Thought they'd be looking at 1st and 10. Instead, it's 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 for the Pelicans.
We'll see if they go with their old reliable pass play across the middle on 2nd and long.
Ortiz lined up to the near side. That's where he's been on this play. Putting a man in motion. This one, a keeper for Dutra. Looks like he might have slipped a little bit on the grass. Gets a gain of 4 on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Not a whole lot of room for him to run on that one. I think Colby Brennan may have been in on the tackle there.
6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. 28-6. The Hornets lead the Pelicans. Checking into the game for KU, Weehawk Crane, the sophomore wide receiver. Three receivers to the near side for KU as they drive to the east. Dutra feels pressure in the pocket, moves up, decides to keep it himself, and runs into some Hornets after a gain of about 5 on the play. Brings up 4th down and 6.
That was a nice stop for the Henley defense. Trying to curb some of that momentum KU had garnered. And it looks like Henley will be getting the football back.
Looks like the Hornets are going to bring the punting unit back out there. Dutra to punt. And Luke Bennett to receive for the Hornets. The punt is up. Bounces around at about the 35, back to the 30, now out of bounds at roughly the 25-yard line.
That's a nice play on field position for the Pelicans, and their defense will get a chance to try to stop Henley once again.
Last time out for the Hornets is turnover on downs. They take over now with 5 minutes to go.
This is about the longest stretch of the ball game that Henley's gone without a score.
4 and 14 are Goof trying to find the median. I believe so, yeah. Jameis and Silas.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 25. Northcutt and Higgins in the backfield. And 2 receivers to the near side. Stork thought it was going to be a handoff, I think, and is now having to keep it. Cuts upfield. He gets to the 30, now the 35, gets to the 40. He's up to the 45, has some blocks, gets to the 50. He's on the far side of the field, up now the 45, the 40, 35, 30. He's got room. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Henley.
That was something to see right there. That was a broken play where Shaw just had to take off to the near side, and he got a great block from Northcutt, Garrett, and then one later on from Owen Sheen. And once again, another huge run for Shaw Stork.
75 yards on the carry for Stork, his 4th rushing touchdown of the night, 15th on the season. And Henley now to attempt the point after, and this one was there a flag down?
Well, let's take a look.
Was it a warning to the... I'm unsure of the call. It looks like the Whitecap.
It was after the play.
Well after the play. He's talking to Coach Stork out at about the 20. Unsure what it is. Either way, a fantastic run for Shaw Stork. 75 yards. He cut a different direction about 3 or 4 times on that play. It's impressive what that kid can do.
When you could turn a broken play into a long touchdown, which has happened multiple times this season, that really is something special, and that's going to help you win some ball games. Just another fun run to watch. This team is fun.
So the Hornets still waiting to attempt the point after. It'll be Colton Smith to hold the kick and Owen Sheen to do the honors. So far, Sheen is perfect tonight, and I believe we are about ready for this extra point attempt.
Sheen to attempt the point after.
The snap, the hold, the kick is going to be wide right. So Owen Sheen, that's what they say, the broadcaster's curse. I said he was perfect on the night. Well, now the score 34-6 in the third quarter. Hornets lead on the MyBasin.com game of the week on 104 and 960.
Top Tree Service is one of the highest buckets in town. No job too small, no tree too tall. Operating since 2017, this crew is ready for your land clearing, tree removal, tree trimming, stump grinding, and fire prevention. On Top Tree Services offers same-day estimates. I can't mention this enough. If a tree falls on your house or vehicle, they offer a 24/7 emergency tree or limb removal. Give them a call today at 541-882-8707. On Top Tree Services, fast, easy, and reliable. CCB 216014.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com game of the week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. The Henley Hornets took them one play. They went 75 yards. Shaw Stork taking it, and it's really tough to just gloss over the fact that was a broken play. Stork thought he was going to hand off the football, ended up keeping himself, and was able to take it to the house. It's just impressive.
We've just seen it all year. It is a special season for Shaw Stork and this Henley offense. So there was an unsportsmanlike on that touchdown after the play assessed against the Pelicans, and so that's why the ball's being moved up here on the kickoff. So Owen Sheen will get a little shorter field to work with.
You think Sheen can knock it through the uprights if he tried from the 45?
Yeah, he may.
And we'll see if he can. Owen Sheen, the kick, well, it's not up. It fell off the tee there.
It's fallen off twice. The wind's pretty brisk again, and it's right at the Hornets. He's kicking right into the teeth. So he'll have Nolan Northcutt hold it for him.
So Northcutt holds the kick still. It's up, and did he get it through the uprights, Kevin? You had a better angle.
You know what? It didn't quite go through, but it was far enough. You were right. You were right. That was a nice kick.
So the KU Pelicans take over, 1st and 10 at the 20 with 4:42 to go in this third quarter. Henley leads 34-6. KU last time out was I believe it was a 3-and-out for KU. They went backwards on a couple plays and unable to get too much going here in the second half. See what they can do now. 1st and 10 from the 20. Dutra takes the snap, looks to his left, completes it to Ortiz along the far sideline. Ortiz has a little bit of room. He cuts upfield, a gain of about 14 on the play. Good enough for a Pelican first down.
You can see the Dutra to Ortiz connection definitely has potential. He has a good set of hands out there, and he's quick. And he's picked up a few big gainers today.
Ortiz, a junior. First year on varsity. Coming into the game for the Pels, number 77, Camelo Solis. First and 10. Dutra. This one's going to be a handoff up the middle. Flag on the play.
42 came up with the ball.
Tolson Higgins on the stop. And he actually came out of the pile with the football, but I don't think it was a fumble.
It'll be holding against the Pelicans again, so this one coming backwards. It'll be 1st and 20. And yeah, Kevin, you said Tolson came away with the ball, but the ball carrier was Peterson, came down and was marked down well before Tolson came away with the football.
Yeah, he made a nice tackle. And KU just having to battle the penalties, just making it a little too tough to overcome.
1st and 20. Two receivers to either side of Dutra. Takes the snap, dumps off to the far side to Dutra, and the pass is incomplete. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well covered out there by Connor Sieben. Just a short little pass attempt on the far sideline. Incomplete.
On his senior night, just seeing Alex Lumbreras check into the game, a 5'9", 215-pound senior. Going to be playing some defensive line for the Hornets. Second down and 20. KU's got 3 wide receivers set out to the right side of Dutra. Looks to his right, decides to keep it, and gets maybe a yard on the play. Brings up third down and 19.
That was a nice job by the Henley line to stay home. Hagan Greer in there. And we're seeing some of the seniors getting some playing time. Good play by Hagan. Also Colby Brennan seeing a lot of defensive snaps here in the second half.
Third down and 19 coming up for the Pels. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side as the Pelicans drive from left to right. Dutra gets the snap, looks left, unleashes one downfield and just overthrew his man Ortiz along the far sideline.
Owen Sheen was with him step for step and didn't give the quarterback really any target at all. Fourth down.
KU going to be forced to punt once again for the third time this half in as many possessions. Luke Bennett to receive the punt. Dutra gets the snap. The kick, a bit of a line drive, is going to bounce at about the 46. Bennett fields it at the 41. Thinks about going straight up, cuts the near side of the field, gets up to the 45 and brought down before reaching the 50. It looks to be about the 49. That is where Henley will take over with 2:51 to go in the third.
I like that Luke Bennett decided to field that punt. He had to pick it up on a bounce, and if he had let it bounce, it may have rolled 15, 20, 25 yards down the field. But the fact that he made an aggressive play to stop the ball and catch it gives Henley really good field position near midfield.
First and 10 from the Henley 49-yard line as they drive to the west goal towards the school at Henley. Tolson Higgins on the carry, sheds one defender, spins around him, gets up to the 45 on the other side of midfield. Might have been just short of the sticks, a gain of 9 on the play. Tolson just keeps chugging those legs and stays on his feet.
I have no idea how he got out of that tackle. I was looking down at my score sheet to see who made the tackle, and he was still going. That's a great effort. Pickup of about 9.
Second and 1 for the Hornets. Northcutt and Higgins back there. This one going to be a handoff to Northcutt. He takes Higgins as the leading blocker. Northcutt cuts upfield. There's a flag down onto the play. Battles through for a gain of about 8 on the play. Good enough for what would be a first down, although a flag down at the far side of the field.
A Henley player lost his helmet. We'll see if that has anything to do with the penalty. If it got pulled off or just came off on its own.
And we'll see what the official ruling is. Holding against the Hornets. So this one going to bring him back. It'll put him at about 2nd and 11 or 12.
Yeah, the hold was downfield, so it's not as bad a penalty as...
Oh, no, 2nd and 3, so they're going to take it from the spot of the foul. So 2nd and 3 for the Hornets. Still 2 back there. It's Northcutt and Higgins. Stork takes the snap. This one a keeper for Stork. He finds some room at the 40 and gets brought down from behind, although he does get the first down and a gain of about 10 on the play.
Hornets going with a 2-back set again, and when Shaw Stork keeps it, he has a couple of lead blockers, and that worked out well for a first down.
For Henley tonight, that's their 10th first down of the evening. They've done a good job keeping the sticks moving, keeping the clock rolling. There's a minute 35 to go in the third quarter. The Hornets lead 34-6. First and 10 from the 36. This one a handoff to Northcutt. He tries to bounce around the far side, gets some room, and is taken out of bounds. Looks to be a gain of about 11 on the play. Should be good for a Hornets first down.
Another first down, and the Hornets running game is on full tilt right now. They can't be stopped. Tyler Harper with a good lead block. I keep mentioning these blocks because these Hornet specialty players can really block.
Same formation with Higgins and Northcutt in the backfield. This one going to be a handoff to Northcutt once again, trying to find a hole, ends up getting one and gets to about the 20, a gain of 5 on the play, but a flag is down.
We've probably seen more penalties tonight than any game that I can recall this year, Josh. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, it happens every now and then. One game's got to take the cake for most penalties, and we've seen Klamath Union get the short end of the stick quite a bit as the Whitecap tonight. Dave Van Horn goes over there and talks to KU bench before the official signal, so you wonder what exactly this call might end up being. It looks like it's going to come back against Henley, though.
Henley. Against Henley.
We've seen a lot of penalties tonight, and it's really been a drive stopper for the Pelicans. Henley's been able to kind of work their way around it, but it's been rough for the Pelicans. And somebody said something on that sideline because there was another late penalty.
It seems to me like there was offsetting penalties. Is that right? So there must have been holding against Henley and something against Klamath Union. Looks like did KU take a timeout? Is that what I saw on the far sideline?
Yeah, after the play was over, there was something going on the far sideline, and then there was a very late flag. So there were some issues over there on the Pelican sideline.
So there is a timeout taken. The officials conferencing at midfield. Never want to speculate what may or may not have been said, but definitely something along the KU sideline. And we'll see maybe now what the official signaling is. No, just a timeout for KU. So curious as to what happened. We'll see where they end up spotting the ball at the end of all this.
It was like a 1st and 5 for the Hornets, which is definitely in their favor after all the flags were sorted out.
Is that one of your students again?
This broadcast tonight on MyBasin.com brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. You know, if you plan on traveling during the winter season, we might get some snow over the next couple of weeks. Definitely some rain in the forecast tomorrow. Maybe want to get your tires checked. Maybe want to get your vehicle checked. You bring your car into Les Schwab Tires. They'll give you a free pre-trip safety check. Make sure everything in your vehicle is in working order, and make sure that you feel safe with your family in the car and all that good stuff. They've got 3 locations in the Klamath Basin, 2 here in Klamath Falls on South 6th Street and on Washburn Way, and then 1 out in Merrill. Les Schwab Tires, they've been doing the right thing since 1952. So 1st and 5 for the Hornets. Bit of a weird situation coming out of that timeout. Henley leads 34-6.
They can really put the game away here with a touchdown. Henley going with a 2-back set on this drive, and they've kind of had their way running the ball. We'll see what they do on 1st and 5.
First and 4,
So 2 backs for Henley again. It's Northcutt and Higgins. This one a handoff to Northcutt. Finds some room on the far side of the field. Tries to cut through some blockers. Gets about 7 yards on the play. Should be good for a Hornets first down.
That might have been Colby Brennan. We're seeing some senior substitutions here.
That might have been Brennan. Yeah, you're correct.
And that was a nice carry by Colby.
First down, Hornets.
So loving to see some of those seniors on their senior night play at the end of tonight's broadcast. We'll make sure we honor all the seniors on both teams tonight, because for KU, last time some of these seniors are playing here at Hill O'Brien Field.
Right.
On the 1st and 10 play, it was a handoff where the back stumbled, maybe got 1 on the play. 2nd down for Henley coming up.
Henley now up 34-6, and they'll take their time as we're almost into the 4th quarter and try to preserve this win.
27 seconds and counting to go in the 3rd, a game in which Henley leads 34-6. This one, another handoff coming to the near side and finding his way into the end zone. I believe that was Tolson Higgins on the carry, but might be a flag Down on the play, holding against Henley. This one's coming back. You hear the groans from the home supporters tonight.
There comes a point where the fans, they're just kind of tired of seeing the penalties. But you know what? You got to play by the rules, and you cannot hold. That'll come back.
So 2nd and about 17. The yard to gain is the 5, and they're taking it from the 21.
We've seen some really long second downs here tonight. 2nd and 27, I believe, at one point. 2nd and 20, multiple times. And we're about to have another one.
So, decline penalty.
Brings up a 2nd and 17.
They're moving the sticks again.
You know what? That was another unsportsmanlike. I'm not seeing what's going on. I don't know if things are being said down there because there hasn't been really any fighting.
Right.
Or anything after the whistle. Something's being said. There's something going on down there where Klamath Union's been hit with quite a few of those unsportsmanlikes after the play.
So 2nd and about 7.
Corrections, 2nd and 7.
Same formation for the Hornets. This time it'll be a handoff. Going up the middle, not quite enough for the first down. Might have been short by about a yard.
76.
Brings up 3rd down.
I think that's Colby Brennan getting some more work in there.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter tonight. The Henley Hornets lead 34-6 over the Klamath Union Pelicans. We'll be back with 4th quarter action on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960.
Thread. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Getting ready for the 4th quarter, a game in which Henley, the Hornets, lead the Klamath Union Pelicans 34-6. Right back into the action. It'll be 3rd down and 3. This one going to be a handoff up the middle and good for a Henley Hornets touchdown. No flags down on the play. And
Tolson Higgins with a well-earned touchdown. He's been working hard tonight carrying the ball, and he got a chance to score right there.
Higgins, his first touchdown of the evening. And on the season for Tolson, that is 8 rushing touchdowns.
What was the 50-50 number? Just a second.
Jace Backus attempting the point after.
Chase Backus with the kick. It's up, and it is good.
What was the number for 50-50?
The score 41-6. Henley now up by 35 points with 11:54 to go in the 4th quarter. We're going to stick with you through this one for Henley. A 6-play drive lasting 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Took them 51 yards and capping it off with a Tolson Higgins touchdown.
Well, once again, the penalties just caught up with KU, and Henley in a good position now. They will be able to play some of their substitute players, a lot of the seniors, as this 4th quarter comes to a close here, leading 41-6.
I believe with the Hornets being up by 35, we should see a running clock as well.
Right.
$173, and she wants to give back $100 to the girls basketball team.
Good performance tonight by the Hornets. They've got to be happy.
Thank you so much.
Didn't have a turnover, controlled the football, and they got the win they needed to get into the postseason.
Hopefully Randy will come up here. If he doesn't, wait there for a couple.
Back to receive is Ortiz and Dutra. The kick is up. Going to end up bouncing around at the 20. In fact, fielded at the 20. Gets up to the 29 before being hit. And I believe, well, that was number 11 for KU. Don't have that listed here on my roster, but about a 9-yard return. That's where KU will take over.
Tyler Harper, another nice stop on special teams.
Come down here, watch the game.
I was Facebook Living it, so when I get back down to the stands, I'll finish Facebook Living it. Because I try to live some of the cheerleaders, so.
All right.
So they're taking over at the 29. KU first and 10, trying to put some points up on the board. Score right now 41-6 in favor of the Hornets. Dutra takes the snap, drops back to pass, has some time, rolling to his left, moves up in the pocket, decides to keep it. He gets up to the 35, spins around, and a nice move to gain about 4 yards on the play for Dutra, and brings up second down.
He only had one tackler to beat for a big gain, and that was Connor Sieben, and he made the tackle. A nice shoestring grab by Connor.
We will now proceed with a running clock.
Second and about 4.
Gives up a second and 4.
We're seeing a lot of new faces for the Hornets now on defense.
Your Katie's souvenir.
Oh, thank you so much. That's exciting.
You don't want it.
I'll throw it
So it's Ortiz and Dutra to the far side, and lined up near for KLAMATH Union is Braden Dawson.
Hey, you're the luckiest coach ever. These people donate everything back.
Let's hope November is
This one,
They just like you.
Dutra on the keeper. Gains a couple on the play, still short of the sticks, brings up 3rd and 1.
Another strong tackle from Connor Sieben. He's really holding down the run on this near side. 2 consecutive tackles. And that brings up a 3rd and short situation for this KU offense.
Sieben on his senior night, 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, and like I said, put on a defensive clinic here on his senior night.
We see him do a lot of things on special teams, and he's also playing very well on defense as well.
3rd and about 2, maybe a long one for KU. Dutra takes the snap. This one is a handoff up the middle, good enough for a first down.
Dutra carries for the first down.
On the carry for KU, I believe that was Dutra. 1st and 10, KU.
Hagen Greer making the stop. Benny Scott also in there. Just enough for a first down for the Pels.
First and 10 from the 41. As the wind picks up here in the basin. Dutra going to try to keep it again. This time gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Henley read that play perfectly, blitzed that side of the field, and kept Dutra right at the line of scrimmage.
Nice to see the second unit playing well. We are in a running clock situation, so the clock continues to roll. We're at about 8 minutes left to go in the game.
Chase Back is checking into the game, the sophomore for Henley. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Dutra with an empty backfield, feels some pressure, has to cut to the left side, has some room, gets up past midfield and runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
55 running
About a 15-yard gain, call it 14 yards on the carry for Dutra, and a KU first down.
Yeah, Dutra showing some speed. He's quick. And once he got around the end, he had a lot of green in front of him. First down, KU.
Back into the game now for the Pels, Braden Dawson. First and 10 from the Henley 45-yard line. Couple men in motion for KU and a handoff up the middle. Looked like it might have been a false start for one of the KU receivers, although no flag thrown. It'll be a decent gain of about 6 yards.
Benny Scott making the tackle. KU kind of has a tough challenge. They have to play their two rivals in consecutive weeks. I don't think I would like to do that here at Henley tonight, and I believe they play Mazama next week.
That's right, the Canal Bowl next week. 43rd annual Canal Bowl. Second and about 4. This one a keeper for Dutra. Has some room, gets the first down and then some. About a gain of 8 on the play and another KU first down.
I think that was Ryan Dotson in on the stop, his first tackle tonight.
Burning up the clock.
6 minutes and counting to go in the ball game, in which Henley leads 41-6 over the KU Pelicans. Dutra's had some success on that keeper.
Yeah, he can definitely run, and he's made some nice throws as well.
First and 10 for the Pels. This one, kind of a screen pass, will fall incomplete. And
Hit the ground in front of the guy.
That's incomplete.
that'll bring up second down.
For Dawson.
Little swing pass. It was just barely forward, so it is an incomplete pass. Had it been another yard back, it would have been a lateral and a free ball. But just an incompletion, bringing up a second down.
For KU, they've got Peterson in the backfield once more. No one really set out too wide. Put a man in motion. Dutra and Peterson now set out wide. Dutra takes the snap, 2 flags down. Dutra has a little bit of room on the far sideline, spins around and does gain 9 yards on the play, but there are flags down. Illegal shifts against Klamath Union. And this one is coming back.
Nice to see the Hornets showing different personnel, having a lot of different players in on this drive. Getting some good experience as we head into the final week next week.
Next week, as you mentioned, Klamath Union going to be taking on Mazama for Henley. It's a second trip over the hill to Hidden Valley, the Mustangs. It's going to be a very important game in terms of the standings. And as we get ready for our post-game show, which is about 4.5 minutes away in terms of the game clock, which is a running clock situation, we'll talk about the playoffs, recap this game for you, and say goodbye to a few of the Henley seniors playing their last game here at Henley High School, at least their last regular season game. Still a couple scenarios in which Henley could get that home field advantage. We'll talk about it all in the post-game show. Right now it's about 2nd and 13 for KU. Dutra takes a snap, rolls out to his right side, decides to take it himself, spins around one Hornet defender, and gets a gain of 10 on the play. It was a 10-yard gain, but still short of the sticks.
And there is a flag in the defensive backfield down the field at about the 15-yard line.
Quite a ways away from the play that was being made as well, so see what the call ends up being. Holding against the Hornets, defensive holding. So KU getting a bit of a break there, brings the ball up to the 15.
The Pelicans are first down.
Yeah, Dutra had nowhere to throw the football, and that was partially because of the holding down the field by the defensive back. So that will give KU another red zone possession here with a chance to score.
3:45 and counting left to go in the ball game. 41-6 the score. Puts a man in motion. That's Dutra. Wraps around. This one a handoff up the middle to Peterson. He's got some room to bounce around up there, but he's brought down after a gain of 5 on the play. Second down coming up for the Pels. The 12th play of the drive coming up. And this an official timeout?
There's a stoppage of play for something.
And there's a very brief stoppage of play at that. Second down and 5 for KU. The yard to gain is the 5-yard line, so into the red zone are the Pels. Dutra takes the direct snap, looking left, has some blockers, has some room, gets inside the 5, and Klamath Union with no flags down on the field. Jameis Dutra in for 6.
He had a nice wall of blockers on the near side and really had no trouble scoring on that play. And KU gets their second touchdown of the night. Clock is still running with about 2:30 left to play.
Dutra punching that one in from about 10 yards out, and now we wait for the extra point. KU trying to go for 2.
Pelicans going for a 2-point conversion attempt.
Man in motion. This is a sweep handoff to Dutra. Has an opportunity to get there, but just short of it, and a flag down on the far side of the field as a tackle was being made.
We can't get through 2 or 3 plays without a penalty tonight. It's just one of those nights.
We'll see what the call ends up being. It'll be holding against Klamath Union. Regardless, doesn't really matter too much as the 2-point conversion was not good. So the score is 41-12 with 2:06 to go in the ball game. Henley Hornets still in control. We'll wrap up the game as we take a break and come back on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. CCB number 188923. Equal Opportunity Employer.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. 41-12. Henley leads Klamath Union in the late going of this ball game with 2 minutes left to go. KU going to kick things off. It's fielded at about the 25 and brought up to the 35. That is where Henley is going to start their final possession of the ball game. Still a running clock. Henley likely going to run out the clock and get away with the senior night with a win.
Who is that? Dylan Clark, meet his family.
Henley will be very happy with this win when they go back and look at the tape. They did a lot of things right tonight. Showed a lot of different looks. I really like how they mix things up once again, and that's going to make it hard for teams in the next couple of weeks to focus on exactly how to play Henley defensively.
Right.
So
we'll see which substitutions come into the game on Henley's final offensive possession. See Shaw Stork handling a football on the sideline, tossing it around. We'll see if they decide to put Harper or Northcutt in the game, Nolan Northcutt.
yeah, I'm not even sure if Henley will run plays here. I don't know if they need to with 1:41 left to go.
And it'll be Tyler Harper out there, and I believe Northcutt's going out there as well, number 3. So, but you're probably right, Kevin, in the fact that won't see him run too many plays. It's a handoff up the middle, brought down after a gain of about 4 yards on the play. That was Harper on the carry.
6 on the tackle.
Harper's had a few carries tonight. And they'll just take their time here.
So again, with the win tonight, Henley solidifies their spot in the playoffs as the snap is taken. This time it's another handoff. Good for a Hornets first down, about 8 yards on the carry.
Carry for a first down.
It was number 11 again.
Harper. Yeah, Harper on the carry.
Yeah, Harper kind of nailing down his spot maybe as a number 3 back. He's getting a lot more carries tonight. Austin Fitz even had a few carries tonight. So we've seen a lot of talent in the backfield for Henley.
We saw Luke Bennett carry the ball a couple times as well. Low snap. Northcutt able to handle it, even off the low snap, is a loss of a few yards inside 30 seconds to go in the ball game.
And that will about do it.
As the clock ticks away tonight, Henley will come away with win number 7 on the season, improved to 3-1 in conference play. They're going to come away with a 41-12 victory as the final buzzer sounds tonight at Hill O'Brien Field. Henley coming away with the 41-12 win. We'll tell you how this affects the OSAA 4A playoffs in the Skyline Conference. We'll recap the game for you coming up next on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 9 Sports.
John Bowers Construction and Landscape Maintenance is in urgent need of landscape team members now. Call them at 541-205-1464 to apply. They're also looking for a construction team lead and a landscape maintenance team lead. They offer extremely competitive wages, paid vacation, and so much more. Call John Bowers Construction at 541-205-1464 to apply today. Email johnbowerslandscape@hotmail.com. TCB number 188923. Equal opportunity employer.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
And we welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Final score tonight from Henley High School. The Hornets beating the Pelicans 41-12. And once again, the defense looked good for Henley, Kevin, but Shaw Stork stealing the show once again with 4 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, I just can't even believe sometimes some of the runs that we have been able to see this year. That Henley offense just knows how to put points on the board. I think that the defense, though, really set the tone for the game. They played almost a perfect first half, and they put the offense in good position on the field to score, and Henley was in control right from the get-go for the most part.
Shaw Stork tonight, 4 touchdowns, makes his total 15 rushing touchdowns on the season. You also had Garrett Northcutt come in for a touchdown, and Tolson Higgins scoring 1 as well this evening. And for Tolson, that is his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. A couple of numbers. First downs tonight, Henley had 12. Klamath Union had 6. On third down conversions, Henley was 1 for 5 on third down. Klamath Union was 1 for 6 tonight. Fourth downs, Henley was 1 for 3. And Klamath Union was 1 for 1 on fourth down conversion attempts. But Kevin, I mentioned it a little bit. The Henley defense, the past 3 games combined, has given up, 18 points over the last 3 games. That is stellar performances the past few weeks.
Right, and a couple of those touchdowns came with, second and third string players. So the defense, it's a little bit hard to notice the defense when your offense is so explosive and so much fun to watch. But the Henley defense is definitely a factor. And the way they play will be key as we head into the postseason.
We talk about that postseason is with the win tonight. Henley has secured their spot in the OSAA playoffs. We will talk about that coming up as we continue the post-game show as Henley wins tonight 41-12 on the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
And welcome you back to the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Henley beating Klamath Union tonight 41-12, and with this win, they improve to 3-1 in conference play, and they find themselves as a lock in the OSAA 4A state playoffs. Give you a look at the Skyline Conference as it shapes up right now. Mazama is 3-0 right now, 5-2 overall on the season. Henley 3-1 in league play. They improve to 7-1 with the win tonight. Hidden Valley is 2-1. They are 4-2 overall this season. North Valley 1-2. Klamath Union is now 1-3 after the loss tonight, and Phoenix at the bottom of the conference with 0-3. A couple games meeting quite a bit tomorrow is Mazama. They play Phoenix, and Hidden Valley visits North Valley for the Civil War over there in Grants Pass. Should be a lot of fun there. A couple of games going on in the Basin. Siloquin playing Bonanza. Glendale playing Lost River. So a lot of football tomorrow. But Kevin, with the win tonight, again, Henley, they find themselves right in there. They're going to make the playoffs, and we continued our season tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could be in for a very interesting game next week. If Hidden Valley wins tomorrow, then that Hidden Valley Henley game next week is basically playing for the 2 seed. And if things work out right, as we talked about earlier this evening, if Henley could jump into that top 8, they could perhaps get a home game. So a lot on the line, and I'm looking forward to next week. I do think Hidden Valley will take care of business tomorrow, and that'll be a good matchup. Hornets and with the Mustangs. Is that what those guys are?
Yeah, the Mustangs.
Okay.
That's what they are. So we take a look at the playoffs and how they work. 15 teams automatically qualify for the 16-team bracket. We get 3 teams out of this conference. A handful of the conferences get 2. A few of them also get 3. That gets us to 15 teams and 1 at-large bid. After all is said and done, the highest-ranked team that's left gets the automatic bid into the playoffs. And as we look at the top 16 teams right now, Estacadas at the top, followed by Cascade and Mazama at 1, 2, and 3. Marshfield, Marist, and Banks, 4, 5, 6. LeGrand is at number 7, followed by North Eugene. Tillamook is ranked 9th, and Henley is ranked 10th in the state right now. Baker, North Valley are 11 and 12. Gladstone, Hidden Valley, Seaside, and Staten round out the top 16 in the state. So as you just take a brief look at that game next week, barring what happens with Hidden Valley and North Valley, that's a 14 versus 12 matchup, the Mustangs versus the Knights. And then Hidden Valley playing the Hornets next week. If the playoffs were to start today, it would be a trip to LeGrand for the Hornets, so hoping that they can sneak their way into that number 8 spot. And these seniors who are playing their last regular season game here tonight might get one more home game.
That's right. If we've learned anything with high school football, you just never know what will happen. You don't know if one of those top 10 teams will slip, or there might be an upset here or there. So we'll have to just play out the string, and we'll travel to wherever they need us to travel to.
Right, absolutely. That's the duty. As I mentioned, a few of the seniors, it is senior night tonight here at Henley High School. Some of them playing their last regular season game here at Hill O'Brien Field for the Hornets. I'd like to honor some of these seniors. Number 1, Colton Smith. Number 12, Victor Alonzo. Number 13, Connor Sieben. Number 15, Colby Brennan. Number 19, Colt Earls. Number 25, Benny Scott. Number 28, Colby Scholes. Number 34, Garrett Northcutt. Number 42, Tolson Higgins. Number 62, Hagen Greer. Number 67, Lawrence Bank. Number 68, Paul Brown. Number 70, Alex Lumbreris. Number 71, Braden Roach. Number 73, Aiden Heslin. And number 74, Elijah Roloffs. These seniors tonight being honored at Henley High School. And also worth mentioning the Klamath Union Pelicans that are also playing their last game at Hill O'Brien Field, like Silas Dutra, the quarterback, number 4. You've also got number 8, Lincoln Peterson. Number 14, Jameis Dutra. Number 23, Carson Joyner. Number 40, Cameron Cordonier. Number 42, Zachary Moore. Number 44, he was playing as number 6 tonight, Weehawk Crane. You've also got number 57, Luis Garcia. And number 78, Lance Lilly, the seniors tonight playing their last game at Hill O'Brien Field. But again, Henley still has a chance to maybe host a home playoff game over the next couple of weeks. We'll see how the standings shake out, Kevin. It's going to be a fun ride these last couple of weeks.
It's going to be exciting. If you had told me we'd only have one loss this deep into the season, I think we'd be happy with that. And this season could get even better if we can get a good seed after next week.
Henley winning this one 41-12 over the Klamath Union Pelicans. That about does it for us tonight. Thanks for being here for the MyBasin.com Game of the Week on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Of course, you can watch an archived replay of this event and many others on MyBasin.com. MyBasin.com is your home for everything going on in the Klamath Basin, from news to sports, special events, and everything else in between. Check us out online at MyBasin.com. Once again, the final score tonight, Henley 41, Klamath Union 12. I'd like to thank the Henley head coach Alex Stork for allowing us to cover his program, and also the Klamath Union head coach Tom Smith for helping us out with the broadcast tonight and being accommodating for us. Of course, the Henley athletic director Jesse Hamilton and all of his staff. And I would like to thank you for being a part of our stream tonight, because without you listening and watching, we'd just be talking to no one. So appreciate you being with us this evening. The final score once again for you, Henley improving to 7-1 on the season with a 41-12 win over Klamath Union. For Nick Bradford running the live stream tonight and my partner Kevin Petrick, I'm Josh Eldridge. Good night from Henley High School.